Hi and welcome back. You're watching The Money Show, and it's time to start our viewer queries session where we answer your portfolio queries and we do your life financial planning. And just in case you are also someone who's waiting for some kind of a guidance or advice on your financial portfolio or is confused about how to achieve your financial goals, well, we are here to help you out with all of that. And our experts are there on the show live who look at your portfolio and help you navigate all your investment decisions, align your investment strategies with your financial goals. So the WhatsApp number that's flashing on the screen. We also have an email ID where you can send across your questions and the current investments, whatever you are doing right now, and the way you wanted to go ahead, whatever financial goals you have lined up for yourself, just give us all those details and we will help you line it up with your financial goals. So let's begin, and we are joined by Vishwajit Parashar, who's the guest for today. Vishwajit, hi, evening, and welcome to the show. And let's begin. We are taking Mr. Srinivas's question. He's 51 years old and he wants to invest 1 lakh per month in mutual funds. And so that's the only question. And very interesting. He is 51 years old and 1 lakh per month he wants to invest in mutual fund. That's quite a substantial amount. I'm clearly not aware about his corpus that he wants to accumulate and the kind of financial goal he's planning to line it up through this portfolio. But having said that, the age factor and the amount of his investment, what will you guide?
Yeah, so I think Kavita, you have rightly pointed out. So first of all, I would advise him to set a clear goal. What is it he wants to achieve? Maybe for his retirement or for children's education, etc. So that once he knows the goal, the planning can be accordingly. Second thing, I would suggest him, because he seems to be a beginner. First of all, he needs to know what kind of a risk profile he has. And Mr. Srinivasan, you can go through a Google and find out some risk profile, risk thermometers, where you can check whether you are a conservative investor, moderate or aggressive investor. And because of that, once you know this, we will choose the funds or schemes accordingly. So that's very important before you start your journey. Because you have rightly pointed out that you want to invest 1 lakh per month. So I'm assuming you want to do a monthly SIP of 1 lakh and in mutual funds. And you want to create some kind of a portfolio in equities. So broadly, I would suggest you can create a balanced and a diversified portfolio, which is kind of an evergreen and for long term. But having said this, you need to review your portfolio annually, almost once in a year at least, so that you know which funds are performing well and which are not doing well, and you can change accordingly. So broadly, to create a diversified portfolio, I would suggest you funds of different market caps, whether it is a large cap, mid cap, small cap, so that there is a diversification in the portfolio. And accordingly, I would suggest you first of all a flexi cap fund, where the fund manager has the flexibility to choose from large cap, mid cap and small cap stocks. So I would suggest you can go for a Parag Parikh flexi cap fund, where again you can start with 20,000 SIP there. After that, I think I would suggest you go for a large and mid cap fund category, where the fund manager has a discretion to choose from 250 stocks. So I would suggest you ICICI Prudential large and mid cap fund there, where again you can start with 20,000 SIP. Thirdly, I would suggest you to, for a diversification purpose, to add one different investment style. So here I would suggest you one fund which is called SBI Contra fund, where fund manager invest in a contrarian view, or maybe on stocks which are not right now popular, but has the potential to deliver decent returns in times to come. So you can choose 20,000 rupees SIP there also. And apart from that, I would suggest you one multi-cap fund. Now, I'm not suggesting you pure mid-cap or small cap, because depending on the market and you are a beginner. So I would suggest you a multi-cap fund, where again a fund manager chooses 25% large cap, mid cap and small cap, which is mandatorily he has to diversify in this portfolio. So I would suggest Kotak multi-cap fund, and broadly this 4 or 5 funds you can add on. And if you want to add one more fund, where I would suggest you can go for a pure large cap fund, which is a Nippon large cap fund. So 4-5 funds, 20,000 rupees SIP each, so 1 lakh accordingly. And every year just review the portfolio and change the funds if required. But otherwise, this is good to go to start with.
All right. The next two questions are about gold and silver, so I'll take them combined. So One viewer wants to start an SIP of 32,000 in silver ETF and gold ETF. And then there's Mr. Anil, who wants to invest again in gold and silver. And he wants to know the best options to invest, whether it should be an ETF or a mutual fund. So he doesn't have any in his portfolio and he's a beginner. All right, so congratulations, Mr. Anil over here. And great that you want to begin your investment journey. But then before you do that, there are a few basic steps that you should be, factoring in. Can you begin your investment with gold and silver, Vishwajit?
Yeah, so Kavita, normally in Indian households, gold and silver, gold at least is already always there, whether it is through physical form or jewelry. So I'm not considering jewelry as an investment, but normally gold people do have in their portfolios. So we as a financial planners normally suggest not more than 10 to 15% allocation towards gold in overall portfolio. So because over aggressiveness in one commodity is not always great. But having said this, last 1 year has delivered superb returns in gold and silver. So people, whenever the returns are good, investors starts chasing that. But having said this, I think we are already at a all-time peak. So one should be very, very cautiously investing in these kind of categories if he wants to create a good corpus in long term. So 10 to 15% allocation is good. He is also asking which category to invest in, whether ETF or mutual fund, fund of fund. So I would suggest him, if he doesn't have a demat, if he doesn't want to take much complications or doesn't want to track every day, then he can go for SIP through fund of fund category in gold and silver, which is where he can allocate some SIP kind of a strategy there also. And that would be simple, though it will be slightly expensive than ETF category. But if he wants to make money in a short term and he wants to track gold and silver almost on a daily basis, like a stocks in a stock market, so then he can consider ETFs, which are slightly low cost, when it comes to investing, comparison to mutual fund of fund. So I think if he wants simplicity and ease and convenience, he should go for mutual fund of fund, slightly expensive than ETF. Otherwise, ETFs is a good option to invest if he is actively investing and wants to make returns in short term.
All right. I think with that, it's a wrap on the show. Thank you so much for being on the show and helping our viewers with their financial portfolio queries. And for all our viewers, just in case you haven't yet noted down our WhatsApp number, email ID, it's flashing on the screen. Note it down and send across your questions so that we can do your live financial planning on The Money Show. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.